Hello. Welcome to today's flow practice. As always, I do recommend having a couple of blocks nearby if you have them. And if not, don't worry. You can just make do without them. It just means that you'll have a little bit more work ahead of you. Blocks are just nice because they bring the floor to you and can offer some support, especially if you're really tight in your hamstrings. So today we're going to start in a kneeling position. Just take a moment to breathe and connect with that ability to connect with our body. And then we're going to really try to work that as always, like moving with the breath, really connecting with that ability to relax through the flow. And it allows us to create a sense of fluidity in the movement, okay? So if kneeling is not comfortable for you, no problem. Sit up in an easy cross-legged position or feel free to utilize those blocks or cushions, okay? So let's get started. Close the eyes with me. Hands can rest onto your thighs, into your lap. You can even cup the hands if that feels better for you. Just find what feels natural for you. And what I want you to do is just take a moment to notice your alignment. And if you could bring a little bit more weight back, anchoring into those feet to lift a little bit more out of the waist. What you'll likely notice when we start to create length in the spine is we start to do it from a place where we kind of arch the back a little bit. So I want you to just feel the front of the ribs hug in and feel just a little bit more space in the back body. And then I want you to feel that breath moving through the back side of your body. As you start to just create a little bit more of an even expansion with your breath. Just connecting with this ability to soften through the movement. See if you can allow for a little bit more length with the exhale. And with those extra long breaths out, can you let out whatever you need to really take this well-deserved time just for you? This is sacred space. So make it that way. Bring all of your focus and attention to where it belongs, on yourself. Let's just take 2 more rounds of breath with that extra long exhale. Perhaps even starting to hear yourself breathe with that warming breath, that little constriction in the back of the throat. And then on your next inhale, let's slowly open up the eyes. We're going to sweep the arms up towards the sky. Take a nice, big, deep breath in. And then interlock your fingers. Press your hands forward. And then just round your back. Let the head get heavy. Take a nice, big, deep inhale. Really. In. We're going to nice breath. Ooh, and then inhale, slowly come all the way up and leaning to the right, just breathing into the left. And then inhale, let's slowly come all the way up. We'll interlock the fingers behind the back of the body and then just open and expand into the chest. One more breath. And then just slowly release. Shake out the hands a little bit. And then from that position, we're going to come into a tabletop position. So in that tabletop position, as always, just take a little moment to move around a little bit. Notice how that feels and lands in your body. And whatever you're doing in one direction, you're going to do that for one more round of breath. And then you'll start to just move in the opposite way. And then taking your time, coming back into that neutral position within your spine, we're going to press through the palms, and you're just going to take all the weight in the left hand. Just flip your right hand up. We'll give that a nice little stretch there. One more breath. And then slowly release. Press through the right hand, flip your left hand, and then just feel that nice little stretch into the wrist. Good, and then on your next inhale, slowly release that. We're gonna inhale here, lengthen the heart forward, and then what you're gonna do is extend your right leg straight to the back, and then you're gonna bend your right knee, and then bring it to the outside of your right foot a little bit further forward. You're gonna inhale, open up and expand the chest, and then exhale, just shift the weight back. 2 more rounds like that. Inhale, opening up to the chest. Exhale and shift back. And then 1 more time like that. Inhale, opening up. And then exhale, shift the weight back. Now the next time you come forward, I want you to just kind of lean over to the right and then circle the hips around. And we're just gonna do that 2 more times this direction. It's gonna feel really weird. Don't try to look like what I'm doing. Just move with what feels good. And then the next time you come forward, let's reverse that direction. And just kind of like stirring up the pot a little bit, waking up into those hips before we get into that flow. And then you'll take your time, press through your palms. We're gonna inhale here, heart forward. So hands are still further back so that when you float that right leg back, we're there for our tabletop. Inhale here. Left leg extends to the back. And then slowly bring it forward. And you might need to wiggle it forward. That's fine. Bring it in front of your fingertips. We're gonna inhale, open the chest. And exhale, shift the weight back. Inhale, come forward, opening up. And exhale, try to take that whole breath to bring yourself back. And then 1 more time, inhale, opening up. And exhale, bring it back. So now you're gonna start to create that more circular motion, just kind of waking up again into the hips. And again, just no right or wrong way to do this, okay? So it should feel a little bit different, maybe a little bit weird, and that's okay. Pardon me, you're gonna slowly bring the hips forward and then just go the other direction. Good, so let's do it 1 more round this way. And then you're gonna inhale, slowly come forward. So this time I'm gonna get you to walk your hands a little bit further forward. So now they're in line with that front foot. Inhale here, heart forward. So really push away from the mat. And then you're gonna float that left leg back for our modified plank. So you're gonna inhale, lengthen the heart forward. Take a second to sink into your hands. Feel that compression through the front of the chest, that kind of sinking action into the wrists, and then push away. Do that 2 more times, just kind of sink into it. It's a very small range of motion, but you're gonna feel a very different action as we push away from the floor and find that length. We'll hold this one here, taking a nice big deep breath in, hugging that belly button to your spine, and then slowly and gently lower down to the ground. We're gonna bring the feet a little bit wider here. You're gonna bring the hands a lot wider and tend to the fingertips. Inhale, just lift the head and the chest. At this point, you wanna be able to lift your hands and maintain the height that you've created. And then on your next inhale, see if you can start to scoop that belly button more and lift a little bit higher. We're just gonna hold that position. Tops of the feet, you wanna anchor them down, scoop the belly button in. That's gonna give your low back a little bit more space. So try to feel that. And then when you feel that, hug the ribs in, giving the upper back a little more space. And then see if you can press into those fingertips to lift the chest while simultaneously softening the shoulders. On your next exhale, let's slowly lower yourself back down. Bring your hands back by your floating ribs, zip your feet back together, and then we'll push ourselves up, holding here at the top, squeezing those triceps, so elbows pointing back as your heart lengthens forward, and then tuck your toes a hip width apart, and let's come into our first downward facing dog. Now, just paddle out the feet a little bit. Take whatever movements feel good for you to just kind of work out the kinks in the spine. Feel the side body open up a little bit.
And then what I want you to do is take a moment as you look at your feet, make sure they're just the hips width apart, heels behind the middle toe, and then really generously, like almost like you're trying to touch the floor with your knees, bend them a lot, and then push, push, push into your hands and hug your ribs in. Feel that length in the back body, and then maintain it as you start to straighten through the legs. And you keep pressing those palms. You just feel a little more space and breath here. One more inhale. And release what you need as you exhale. On your next inhale, we're gonna bend into the knees, gazing forward, and then step your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthening your spine, we'll lift up halfway, and then exhale, you're gonna fold forward. Now soft bend into the knees, we're gonna inhale, coming into a first flow with that modified version. As we exhale, we're gonna fold forward, letting that upper body go right to the crown of the head. Inhale, fill your body with breath as you hug those belly button to ribcage connections strong. Exhale, plant your palms, step back into your plank position. We'll drop the knees down, we'll untuck the toes, make sure we're keeping our head up. As we exhale, lower nice and slow. Inhale, create a little more width for that back bend as you breathe in. And then exhale, slowly lowering yourself back down. Hands come back, you're gonna float yourself up really nice and strong. Tuck the toes hip width. And let's come back to our downward facing dog. Big inhale. Really deep exhale. So notice right here after a little bit of movement, how is the quality of your breath? Come back to filling your body. Think of it like fuel for your body as you breathe into it, creating more space, more energy, more vitality as we move. On your next inhale, I want you to take your right leg and lift it up towards the sky. Bend your right knee and step your right foot to the outside of your hand. Find the tips of the fingers, and then we're gonna inhale. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. Slide the shoulders down your back. And then just look towards those fingertips. Take 2 more breaths here. And what I want you to feel is your left toes really digging into the mat. So you can actively feel that left thigh hugging into the midline. Take 1 more breath and see if you can spiral open a little bit more. On your next inhale, bring your right hand back down. Now lengthen the heart forward, start to let that right knee open. The inner edge of your foot's gonna lift, but you're gonna keep the angle of the ankle the same. And then you're just gonna walk your hands over to the left side, and then just breathing into this. Back leg so strong, right knee opening up. And we're gonna hold here. Giving yourself just 1 more breath. And then slowly taking your time and walking your hands. Now, when you come back to center, you're gonna open your right toes, lengthen the heart forward, bend the back knee, and we're gonna step that left foot forward to the outside of the left hand. You're gonna bend into the knees, and then you're gonna bring your elbows on the insides of the knees. Now you can sit up on a block here, perfectly fine, or you can have your elbows above the knees if this feels a little too intense, okay? So we're gonna hold and breathe here. But once again, just like we did in that plank, make sure you're not sinking, right? You're pressing and lifting, and we'll take 1 more breath. And then on your inhale, sweep the arms up, lift up nice and tall. Take the right arm, grab the left elbow, vice versa, and then you're gonna lean to the right, and then just slowly fold down. Inhale, come all the way up, and then we'll do that 2 more times. Exhale, fold and round. You're just really loosening up into that back body. Should feel so nice. This is one of my favorite ways to just loosen up in the spine. On your next inhale, reach the arms up. And then we're gonna exhale, walk the feet hip width apart, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, this time we're gonna step step back into a full plank if that's strong for you. So we're gonna bring the heart forward, press away from the floor, and then really, really dig your toes to engage those legs. One more breath. Make sure you're looking forward, not down. And then lift your hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. So let's bend the knees a little more than we need to, my friends. Tilt the tailbone up, hug in, and just breathe. Now see if with the action of the hands pressing, you can start to dig the mounds of the feet, engaging the thighs as you scoop the belly button in. One more breath. And then on your inhale, left leg is gonna lift up to the sky. Slowly step your left foot to the outside of the left hand. Find your fingertip grip here. We're gonna lengthen the heart forward and just peel the left arm up to the sky. Now soften the shoulders down your back, dig your right toes, push into your left foot. So there's a way different expectation from the muscles if we just sink into it, right? And if we press and just hug that midline, it just changes it so much. It's that full presence as we move, making the most of this sacred time. One more breath. And then on your next inhale, reach that left hand forward. Now you're gonna let the left knee open up, and then from here, walking those fingertips over to the right, and then you're just creating space here. Back leg so strong as you push into the floor. Just create a little bit more length here. One more breath. And then on your next inhale, bring the hands back to the center. Open your left toes, so there's that little external rotation, bend the back knee, and then as quiet as you can, step that right foot forward, toes are out. Bend into the knees and come back to that malasana or yogi squat. As you press your palms, hug the ribs in. And once again, I really want you to feel the space in the back body. Fill it with your breath, okay? One more here. And then inhale, arms reach, sweep up. The left hand grabs first and right elbow behind. And then we're gonna lean to the left and then down. Inhale, come all the way up. Now really feel like you're pulling your elbows apart. Let that upper back be as spacious as possible. Lifting up tall. We'll do it one more time, just lowering down. And then lifting up. On your next inhale, reach the arms up. Walk the feet hip width apart as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins. Let's lengthen the heart forward. Exhale, plant the palms, step back into your high plank. Holding here with that really steady, firm breath. One more inhale. Soften through your exhale, and then peel your hips up. Once again, take a little bend into the knees. Come back to that alignment, and we'll take a nice deep inhale here, and exhale it out. On your inhale, lift your right leg, come up to the sky, big breath, and then step your right foot forward in between the hands. Find the tips of your fingers here, and then we're gonna inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Now from here, you're gonna sweep your right arm down and around, and then left arm will drop as we take a little twist. And then you're gonna breathe into that. Sinking a little bit deeper, but resisting with the back leg to really feel like you're lifting and lengthening through the crown of the head. Let's take one more breath. And then you're gonna sweep that right arm down, both arms reach up, and you're gonna open into a warrior two. You may just slide that right foot a little closer into the middle of the mat to do so. And then just sink a little bit deeper. Find that steady gaze. Take one more breath and see if as you lower the hips, you can lift the heart. And then inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Pivot that right foot inward, and then exhale, soft bend in the knees as you fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, shift a little bit more weight forward, And then exhale, start to fold your upper body, walking your hands in between your feet. Now squeeze the elbows. Lengthen a little more. And as you tuck your chin towards your chest, just breathe deeply here. One more breath. And then take a soft little bend into the knees. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward. Let's bring the hands to the hips. And then we'll slowly come all the way up. Now you're going to open your left toes to the back wall. Sweep the arms out into your warrior two. So you're facing the back of the mat now. And then just breathe into that. Take one more breath. And I want you to reach to the back of your room. Bring the elbow to the knee. And then right arm's going to sweep up and over as you draw your right shoulder down your back. One more breath here. And as you sink a little bit lower, lengthen and peel the right side of your body back. On your next inhale, draw your gaze down, sweep both arms up as you pivot your right foot in, left foot forward, and you find warrior two one more time. Inhale here, lift a little more. Exhale, sink just a little bit deeper. Last inhale here. And then windmill your arms on either side of your right toes. You're gonna float your right leg back as you lengthen your heart forward. And then from there, you can drop the knees, or we lower with control with the heart lengthening. And then you inhale, open up into the chest. Exhale, and press back. Let's take a nice big full breath in. And maybe a deep sigh breath out. One more here. Good, and then on your next inhale, let's take the left leg and lift it up to the sky. Slowly step your left foot in between your palms, and then we'll sweep the arms up once you've found that lunge. And then from that position, you're gonna inhale here, sweep the left arm down, and then as it reaches back, your right arm lowers. So arms parallel to the floor. And you press away, you scoop in, and then you lift a little bit more as you open up. Take one more breath. And then we're gonna inhale, slowly come all the way up, opening into that warrior two. And then you're just gonna breathe, finding that steady gaze. Sliding a little bit deeper, lifting a little bit more. Really good. And then on your next inhale, lengthen and lift both arms. Pivot your left toes in. And this time we're gonna sweep the arms out as we fold forward. Grab your calf muscles, maybe your ankles are available. Take a tiny bend in the knees, lengthen the heart forward, and then exhale, fold. Keep pressing into those feet. Just hugging in a little bit more. Two more breaths. One more here. On your next inhale, soft bend into the knees. We're gonna sweep the arms up to the sky. Take a nice big deep breath in, and then open your right toes to the back of the mat. Sink a little bit deeper. So now we've got a new perspective. We're looking in a different direction. Can you hold space as you look back? Breathe into the back body. You have this sense of confidence, this sense of strength as you tap into that breath. We'll take one more here. And then you're gonna reach long, bring the elbow to the knee, sweeping that left arm up and over, just drawing that shoulder down your back. As you slide a little more, you're gonna rotate open a little bit more. One more deep breath.
on the next inhale, draw your gaze down. We'll sweep both arms up, pivot the right foot in, left foot forward. And then come back to looking ahead. Sink a little bit more as you lift. One more breath. And then slowly take your time, pivot your back heel. We'll float that left leg back, heart forward, and then lowering down nice and slow. Inhale, opening up into that back bend. And then exhale, press back into your downward facing dog. Find your feet, feel your breath. And just calm yourself right back down. Remember to slower the breath. And everything else is going to relax and soften. Notice if maybe you can shake the head a little bit, just loosen up in the neck, the shoulders a little more. Take just one more deep full breath. And then on your next inhale, we're going to soften the knees, gaze forward. You can step or even play with a little hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, and then you're going to fold yourself forward. Now taking your peace fingers, we're going to wrap around the inside of the big toe. Bend your knees more than you need. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward. And then exhale, start to fold your upper body. Pressing through those feet in a way that just creates a little more length in the backs of the legs. And then consciously feel your thighs engage a little more so you can just give it that little bit extra to open into the backs of them. And start to really use those hands to pull a little bit more depth so you lengthen the spine and also enhance that stretch in the hamstrings. Give yourself just 2 more breaths. One more like this. And then on your next inhale, you're going to shift the weight back. Take a soft little bend into the knees, and then you're going to sweep the arms up. Take a really nice big breath in, and then we're going to work through that one more time. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, hands to shins, lengthen your heart forward, and then exhale, plant your palms, stepping back into your high plank, holding it here. Now this time, I'm going to get you to try to close your eyes and really enhance that ability to push away and feel that space it creates in the back body. Take one more breath, make sure your head is up. And then open the eyes, lift up into your downward facing dog. Let's take a nice big breath in. Big breath out. On your next inhale, take your right leg, lift it up to the sky, and then slowly step your right foot in between your palms. We're gonna sweep the arms up. Take a nice big deep breath in. And then sweep that right arm down, left arm forward, open into that twist. Now lift a little bit more. Imagine I'm pulling your right fingertips. And then flip your right hand down, left arm up, and hand slides to the back of the left leg. And it's almost like you're trying to draw your gaze towards that left heel. Really rinsing out, feeling this beautiful stretch through the front of your left hip. And then inhale, both arms sweep up. And then let's find that warrior 2. Bend into the knee. Now this time we're going to flip the right hand and reverse that warrior as you breathe here. Just fill that right side of your body with your breath. One more here. And then inhale, slowly reach both arms up. Pivot that right foot in. You're going to interlock your fingers behind your back. Open the chest, and then exhale, hinging forward. Breathing deeply here. Shifting a little more weight into the toes. And again, just really consciously pushing away from the floor.
one more breath. When you take a soft bend into the knees, we'll inhale, slowly come up. Open the left toes now to the back of the mat, and then you're gonna hinge on the inside of that left knee and just really breathe. You're really reaching in all directions. Crown of the head to the back of the mat, fingers towards the front edge of the mat, and then rotating open. Take one more breath. Good, and then from that position, we're gonna inhale, sweep the arms into your warrior two. On your next inhale, straighten through that left leg, pivot the left foot in, right foot forward, and you take one more warrior two from here. Good, and then windmill the arms on either side of the toes, heart forward, float the right leg back, inhale. Exhale, more slow. Inhale, opening up into that back bend, and exhale. Find your down dog. Take a big breath in. Let it be a clearing breath out. And then on your next inhale, let's go ahead and lift the left leg. And then slowly step the left foot in between the palms. Sweep the arms up. Take a nice big breath. Really lift up. And then sweep that left arm down. Right arm reaches forward. And then you're gonna flip the hands, right hand up, left hand down, and reverse that. Breathing into it. Good, one more breath, just really reach. And then on your inhale, sweep that left arm up, pivot the feet, and then sink into your warrior two. Flip your left hand, and then we'll come into that reverse warrior. And just feel the outer edge of your left foot a little more. On your next inhale, let's straighten through that left leg. Right arm reaches up, and then interlock the fingers once again. Open and expand the chest, big breath. And then exhale, start to fold forward. A bit more weight forward into the toes. You're going to give yourself 2 more breaths here. Make sure the back of the neck is long. One more here. And then on your inhale, little bend in the knees, slowly come all the way up. Open the right toes to the back of the mat, and then you're going to hinge on the inside of that right knee. Rotate that left shoulder open, and then just breathe deeply here. Good, one more breath. And then inhale, sweep the arms up, keep that lunge as you find your warrior two. Holding that steady state. And looking back with confidence and a sense of pride. And then inhale, lengthen that right leg, right toes in, left toes forward. And last, warrior here. On your next inhale, windmill the arms. You're gonna float that left leg back, heart forward. And then this time, we're gonna lower all the way down. Now from this position, I want you to bring your forearms ahead, and we're gonna give those thighs a little bit of love here. They've done a lot of work today, hey? Right hand comes across, we're gonna bend the knee, and then you're gonna reach back, grab the top of your foot. Now your hip's gonna lift very likely. That's fine, just bring it back down now. And then press through your right elbow, and then let it kind of be this like diagonal line, and you press into your left toe. So everything's really, really strong, and you're gonna breathe into all the feels that come along with that. Good, let's take one more breath. And then slowly release, left forearm comes down, and you can cross that hand for balance here, and then take your time and grab the top of your right foot. And so you'll notice if you just sink into your elbow, it's gonna change the way you feel that stretch. So if you push into it a little more, open the chest, spread the toes, you're gonna feel that a lot deeper. Close your eyes. Soften, and take one more breath. Very good. And then slowly take your time, and then release that leg down. Now on your next inhale, you're gonna take a nice big deep breath in. Let's take a nice clearing breath out. Bring the hands once again to that wider position, maybe a little further back this time, and then you're gonna inhale. Feel yourself just lift up nice and tall, shoulders relaxed down. Take one more breath. Exhale, slowly lower down. Bring your hands underneath your forehead, spread the toes wide, and then lift both legs up off of the mat. You'll notice very likely your shoulders shrug up, so draw them down. Lift a little bit higher. Take one more breath, and then slowly release. Take a big inhale through your nose, and a great big deep breath out. One more here. And one more breath out. On your next inhale, we're gonna lift the head to a hover, sweep the arms back, and then you're gonna lift everything off the mat. Breathing deeply here. Now, as you lift a little bit more, I want you to take a nice big deep breath in. Heel up a little higher as you do it, and then maintain that as you exhale. And then if it's there for you, I want you to sweep the arms forward and keep breathing here for 3. So notice the change, right? A lot more challenging when we don't have the leverage of the arms to lift us, but instead challenge us. But you got this, keep breathing. Take one more breath. And then let's slowly just release, let everything soften as your left ear comes down to the ground and you just relax. And there's the question, can you just immediately soften out of that really intense state? You just went against every pattern you have in your body. It's a lot. So notice the reaction, notice the emotions that come up, and then breathe it out. On your next inhale, option to stay the same, or we sweep the arms back. You're gonna bend into the knees, grab the tops of the feet, spreading the toes, and then slowly pick up. Keep breathing here. Try not to just lift the thighs. Try to dig the thighs down and kick the legs back. Take one more breath. Open up a little more. And then slowly release. This time right ear comes down. And then you just rest. Take a big breath in. And a clearing breath out. On your next inhale, we're gonna take our time, bring our hands back by our floating ribs. Now you can do this from the knees like we did before, or you can tuck your toes. We're gonna come into one more plank, okay? So shoulders down your back, tuck the chin, and then you're gonna slowly push yourself up, holding here. Maybe we even just close the eyes, and the second things get shaky, notice where the mind goes. Instead of feeling all of the things that weigh us down, can we start to pay attention to what lifts us up? Be proud of what you're doing here. No matter where the knees are, open the back body, calm the breath. Take one more inhale here. And then slowly drop the knees, untuck the toes, and just let your hips get heavy into a wide-legged child's pose. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. One more time, inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, you're gonna shift the weight forward, and then we're just gonna kick the feet out to one side, make our way into a seated position, and then you're gonna wanna scoot yourself right to the top of the mat. So from this position, we're gonna inhale. Legs straight ahead. You wanna make sure those sit bones are grounded down. We're gonna inhale, reach the arms up. Now I want you to look to where the ceiling meets the wall, okay? So you're gonna lengthen. Now that might mean you bend the knees a little bit. Perfectly fine. Slowly reach a little further forward and then start to reach down, grabbing the outer edges of the feet, ankles, or shins. I would rather you have length in the spine than have straight legs, okay? So you wanna make sure you're bending the knees. Even though we're focused on the hamstrings, you've gotta pay attention to the length in your spine. So you gotta play with it a little bit. Sometimes if we just straighten the legs, it's gonna cause us to round back, right? So just close the eyes. Maybe you move through that a couple times. Lengthen and then kind of straighten and then find that sweet spot in between. And then start to let your heart melt forward. You can allow the head to get heavy. And then just breathe deeply here. On your next inhale, we're gonna slowly roll ourselves all the way up. From this position, you're gonna take your time. You're gonna bring your hands by your side, lean back just a little bit so you can bend the knees, and then you're gonna scoop your left foot underneath. Use your right hand to grab it. Now, interlock your fingers behind the back of the right leg. We're gonna lift up nice and tall. Spread the toes, and then I want you to think like a magnet between your toes and your heart. So you're not gonna round, you're gonna keep lifting, and then you're gonna reach your left arm forward, and then maybe even reach the right arm forward. But again, straight spine number one, okay? Maybe we straighten through that right leg and we hold, and we just soften and we smile through those quivers instead of being heavy and hard on ourselves. One more breath. Way harder than it looks, right? Bend that right knee, grab it with your hands so you can lift up, really reach that left arm up, grab the outer edge of your ankle, or your foot I should say, and then from here lift up tall. So use both your hands here to really lengthen and lift, and then you can start to reach that right arm back. You're always welcome to bring the hand to the floor too, and then you might even start to add a little bit more extension into that right leg. Remember the rule, only if it lifts your heart more, right? One more breath. And then you're gonna inhale, slowly take your time, and then we're just gonna bend into that right knee and then see if we can stack it over top of the left. Now you're gonna need to do a little wiggle here, wiggle the hips in between the heels. This might not be accessible, totally fine. If you find that you're really lopsided, straighten your left leg, just line it up with your right hip. On your next inhale, let's reach those arms up towards the sky. And then we're gonna take the right arm underneath the left, twist high in the arms, and then you're just gonna close your eyes. And you're gonna feel this length, this grounding through the tailbone, this lifting through the spine, and this twist high through the arms. Take one more breath. And then slowly release, taking your time, bringing your hands behind your back again, and then place your feet a little bit wider than your hips, and then just rock the knees a little side to side. Just enjoy that nice little release in your hips. And then what we're gonna do from here is come into a little bit more strength. Wiggle the feet to hips width apart. Now, if you do have that block, those blocks, I'd grab one of them, bring the other one with you, and then take the block at its mid setting in between the knees. Press through your fingertips. You're gonna open the chest. And this might be it, just squeezing the block, scooping the belly button, or you might start to lift the hips and come into a reverse table as you open and expand the chest. Only if it feels good you let the head drop back. If it doesn't feel good, it's not doing any good for you, I promise. So just keep looking up or forward. Take one more breath. And then tuck the chin to the chest. And as you come down, I want you to bring your hips back just a touch, okay? And then slowly move the block out of your way. Now we're gonna tuck the right foot underneath, and then you're gonna interlock the fingers behind the back of the left leg. So once again, pull in, lift up nice and tall, and then from that position, you're gonna reach your right arm forward, keeping the chest up, and then your left arm forward. And then just keep lengthening, keep lifting out of the waist. And then maybe, just maybe, as long as we don't lose the length in the spine, we're gonna lift up and then breathe here. And then lift your eyebrows a little bit with me. I know it's hard, but the point here is to notice how we respond. And if it's a reaction, then that's your ability to just notice that and change it, right? Bend your left knee. Reach your right hand, grab the outer edge of your left foot. And it's gonna cross the midline naturally if you don't pay attention. So keep with your left hip straight forward. And then left arm's gonna reach back. And then you can start to straighten that left leg as long as it lifts you up. And then you just breathe. And as you resist, you're gonna open a little more. Good, and then slowly come back to center. I hope it does for you too. Wiggle yourself in between the heels, and then take your right leg straight if you need. Just line it up with your left hip. So there's that little diagonal. Inhale here, arms reach up, and then we're gonna take left arm underneath the right. You're gonna close the eyes, and we're just gonna breathe. Soften through your shoulders, lift the elbows, take the thumbs away from your forehead, breathing deeply here. One more breath. And then inhale, slowly release. Once again, take the hands behind your back. We'll place the feet wider than your hips. And then this time, let's go left first. Look over the right. And then we'll inhale, come back to center, over to the right, look to the left. And then come back to center. Last one. So option is to come into that reverse table, or we can go into a reverse plank. So what you're gonna do is imagine you're squeezing that block. Toes are gonna wanna open out. So you're gonna press your palms facing forward. Ideally, if they need to turn out, that's fine. Just make sure the hands are balanced. Inhale here, open the chest. And then tuck the tailbone, lift up. And then just breathe through all the feels, my friends. I know, try to press your thumb and index finger down a little bit more. And instead of being weighed down by the heaviness of your mind, open up, let it go. Maybe drop the head back. One more breath. And then slowly take your time and then come down. That was the quickest breath ever. See, I'm right here with you. Take your feet hip width apart, reach the arms forward, and then let's lower slow. Take your time. Soften through your shoulders. And then once you come down onto your back, you're gonna hug your knees nice and close into your chest. Rock a little bit side to side. And then just settle in the center, and then like a upside down child's pose, just pull those knees wide. Take a nice deep breath in. Big breath out. And then just rock a little bit to the left. Come back to the center. And rock to the right. Come back to center. And then you can stay here repeating that. Or you can reach and grab the outer edges of the feet. And then do it again in a happy baby. So rock over to the left, maybe even extend that right leg. And then inhale, coming back to your happy baby in the center. And tilt to the right. And extend
to the center. And then take one breath here. Draw your shoulders down your back. And then we'll slowly bring the feet back together. Hug the knees, tuck the chin, and just squeeze in. And then slowly release. Taking your blocks. Now, you can take your traditional shavasana, or you can take a supported butterfly with me and bring the blocks. Keyword supportive, my friends. I don't want this to feel like a stretch. Just a really natural opening. Palms flipped up, close your eyes. And let's take a nice clearing breath. Big exhale through your mouth. And for a moment, just do nothing. Don't look back. Don't race forward. Just be exactly where you are. Feeling connected with your body. The experience of feeling your breath. And just taking a moment to be where you are with nothing to do. Use the hands to help guide the knees back together, but it should feel fairly fluid with the support of the blocks there. And then move the blocks out of the way as you walk your feet out wide. Let the knees buckle in and just take another breath. Open up the knees, scoot your hips a little bit to the left. You can curl over to your right and enjoy. One more breath in this position, a really nurturing, cozy, settled position. And then on your next inhale, slowly push yourself up and let's sit up really nice and tall. We'll close the eyes, bring the hands to the heart, and just take a moment here to acknowledge yourself and just acknowledge the state that you've created here today. Understanding and appreciating that it's just about really creating this consistent sense of awareness, this ability to stay present. We've been here for a while and you're still here. That's something to be so proud of. So as you head into the rest of the day, do it with this sense of stability, this sense of connection, and more importantly, this sense of pride. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I hope that you feel amazing, and I hope that this leads to a really great rest of your day. Whatever you do, again, stay really mindful. It's really helpful to have these little reminders, even like literally sticky notes, reminders in your phone, like, am I breathing? Am I breathing? Right? Because the first thing that happens when things get hard or challenging or we feel frustrated is we hold that breath. And there's just so much that happens when we slow it down. So I hope that helps, and I hope that it's not required at some point of your day, but if something challenging comes up,